I think I got the impression that it's like with knights, and I'm in a knight's uniform.
So you got the impression it's with knights?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me
Yes.
more.
No, I'm in a knight's uniform off the cloud, and I'm in
Mm-hmm.
a knight's uniform. I think there's a castle somewhat close. There's a castle.
Mm-hmm. Are you still on the cloud?
Not anymore.
Okay. So you're in a knight's uniform and are you standing on the ground? Is that where you are?
Yes.
Can you describe to me what does that look like? Are you on gravel, pavement, grass? What does the ground look like or feel like to you?
It's like there's grass and it's like dirt
Mm-hmm.
and it's like cold and it's like overcast.
Mm-hmm. It's overcast. Mm-hmm. Now, since it's overcast, do you get a sense of what time of the day it might be? Or is it a little hard to tell?
It's like it's daytime.
Mm-hmm. It's daytime, and you were saying that you can see a castle.
Yeah, it's like off in the distance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very good. Now, look down at your feet. Can you describe what is it you're wearing? What do your feet look like?
Mm. It's like metal. It's all metal.
It's all metal. So like a metal suit.
Yeah, it's all metal. It's a metal suit. It's a knight's uniform.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Does it feel heavy to walk in, light? What does it feel like to be in that suit?
It feels like, yeah, I can walk, but it's like maybe my movements are a little constrained, but I can still move in them.
Very good. Can you see well in the suit as well?
Yeah, I have like a face, a head, a helmet on, but,
Mm-hmm.
but I can, and my vision is protected with like the helmet, but I can like move it up and down. So like it covers my eyes, but I can move it up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. So you're in this night suit. Are you carrying anything with you?
I feel like maybe maybe it's like a pole and a flag, or just a
Mm-hmm.
pole with me.
A pole. What does the pole look like? Can you describe that?
Uh, it's just really thin and and it's kind of long, but it's thin
Mm-hmm.
and it has a flag on top.
Mm-hmm. Can you describe what does the flag look like?
It's like it's white, but there's like I think a red X going through it from corner to corner, a red line from corner to corner, and then there's an insignia on the top left hand side.
Mhm. So it's a white flag with a red X across from corner to corner. And you mentioned it has an insignia sign on the left.
Yes.
Okay, insignia. Okay, very good. Do you feel like you're male or female? You feel like you're male?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Do you feel young or do you feel old?
I feel like I'm a young person, but doing this, being a knight has made me age.
Mm. Do you get a sense of how long you've been a knight for?
It feels like 5 years.
5 years. And how old are you? Are you
Uh,
hmm
Maybe like 28, between
20?
28 and 32.
Okay. So around 28 and 32. Okay. And you have been a knight for about 5 years. And you're carrying a pole with a flag. And are you walking in the direction of the castle?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anyone else around you?
Yeah, some other knights were like all marching
Mm-hmm.
together towards the castle.
Mm-hmm. And approximately how many other knights are there?
Maybe like 20.
20 knights, okay. And you're in the front? Are you at the lead?
Yeah, we're kind of spread out a little, but yeah, I'd say I'm in the front.
Mhm. And now, do you get a sense of what your role there is or what you're doing there?
I think I'm in charge of like information gathering, or I'm in charge of delivering some information.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. And do you feel healthy or sick in that moment?
I feel okay, but I'm tired.
Mm-hmm. You're tired. Mm-hmm. And why is it that you feel tired?
I think it's because being a knight is not easy.
Mm-hmm. It's challenging or
Yeah, it's just a lot of work.
mm-hmm.
There's no time to do anything else.
There's no time to do anything else. Who do you work for?
I work for the king.
For the king? Mm-hmm. And what do some of your responsibilities consist of?
I travel. I work for the king and I collect information for him and I relay it to him.
Mm-hmm. And so, um, As you're walking in the direction of the castle, do you recognize if you're returning back to the king or are you on a mission?
I think we're coming back from a mission and we're
Mm.
going to the castle.
Oh, can you tell me more about that?
I think feels like we were spying on enemy troops.
Mm-hmm.
We're spying to gather their position, and now we're coming back to tell that to the king.
Okay, so you were spying on the enemies. You were able to locate where they're located, and now you are going to share that their location with the king.
Yes.
Very good. Very good. Now, what is your relationship with the other knights around you? Can you tell me more about that?
I feel like there's a couple that are above me, but not too much. And the rest, they're beneath me. So maybe I command them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're the one in charge?
Yes, but I'm not the highest rank there.
Mm-hmm. Just for that mission?
I believe so. Yes, that was my mission.
And tell me more about that. Why was that your mission?
I It feels like I needed to get it for the king. He wanted to know about the other troops. He he needed to know that information.
He needed to know that information. Mm. Do you get a sense of what year it is? What's the year there?
Like 1599.
Mm-hmm. 1599. Very good. And what region of the world are you located in?
Um, I don't know. It feels like it could be England, France,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere in the United Kingdom because of the weather.
Mm-hmm.
An English king.
Mm-hmm. Right. An English king? Is your king English?
I think so.
Very good. So, so let's go ahead and see what happens next. So, you got into the castle, and what happens next?
We meet with the king.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like we just tell him the position of the soldiers, and then he's gonna talk with the other military officers about it.
Mm-hmm. And what do they discuss?
I think they just discuss whether it's a concern or not, whether they need to act on it or not. It's unclear.
Okay. So are they going to wait and see, or what do they say they do?
Um, it doesn't feel urgent, but it feels important. So
Mhm,
they're just gonna take it into consideration for now and just wait.
mhm. And now those enemies, can you describe what they look like?
Yeah, they weren't like in knight's uniform. They mostly like raggedy uniform. Um, they had their own camp going on there. Shirts.
What color was their clothes?
I feel like just like a egg white. Like it didn't feel like a they didn't have a consistent uniform. It was just whatever they had. Like it doesn't feel like it's a real army. Like they're just a group of men. Like they're not a real trained army, but they're there.
Were they native to that land or did they settle there?
It feels like they're there at a camp, but their people are native there. Their people are from there. They just belong to like a different kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not knights. They're part of their like military presence. They're
Mm,
coordinated, but they're just not knights.
mm-hmm. And approximately how many people were there at that camp?
Feels like not a lot. Maybe like 300 at most.
Mm-hmm. 300. Okay, okay, very good. So now back with this king and the castle. Can you describe how do you get in the castle?
I think they lower the gate for us to enter.
Mm-hmm. They have to lower a gate.
Yeah,
Why is that?
because there's like an entire community inside. So they lower the gate so it's not open. So only when they want to let people out or in, they open the gate.
Mm. And is the castle, where is it located? Is it on a hill? Is it around water? Can you describe more about what it looks like on the outside and its location?
It's like inland. It's not really like high hills, but the land is uneven outside of it. But the castle itself and the community inside is mostly even.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it's just surrounded by in some hills.
Mm-hmm. And are you able to determine um, what nation this is based on any flags or anything around?
Mm. Okay, I don't know. Maybe they're I don't know if they speak English. Maybe they're speaking French.
Mm-hmm. French. Very good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to close this scene and we're going to go to the outside of your home, the place where you live. Can you describe what does the outside of your home look like?
As a knight?
Yes, as a knight in that lifetime.
Well, it's not that big.
Tell me more.
I
What is
feel
it?
like I feel like it's like um it's like an average entrance. It has a room and then another room and like a
Mm-hmm.
small kitchen area. And
And what was,
there's a
uh-huh,
table for seats.
okay. And what was your house made of?
It feels like bricks. It's made out of bricks, but then they put like a cover plaster over to even it out to
Mm-hmm.
protect it.
Okay. And how do you enter your home?
There's a door. There's a door in the front. That's the entrance.
Mm-hmm. And is the door locked or do you just easily open the door?
Yeah, just open the door.
Okay, very good. Now, what does your bedroom look like as you entered your home? What does your bedroom look like?
Oh, it's like very minimal. I have like a bed. It's like a twin bed. I have
Mm-hmm.
like maybe one drawer, maybe like a small table, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. And now, see, do you have any decorations, any statues, any pictures or paintings in your home?
Um, I feel like there is some religious small statues, like
Mm-hmm.
maybe the Virgin Mary
Mm-hmm.
is there,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe some crosses. But other than that, no, it's pretty plain.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And now, can you describe what does your bathroom look like when you go to the restroom? What does that look like?
It's like it's like an outhouse, so it's outside of the house, and it's just a room,
Mm,
small room to sit, and everything goes in there.
okay. Is that something then that you have to upkeep, or does it just fertilize the that section?
Um, no, I don't upkeep it. It's just there. It's just there's a hole into the ground, and that's where everything goes.
Okay. Very good. Very good. So then, do you guys have toilet paper, or what do you guys use to for sanitation purposes?
I feel like there's no sanitation.
There's no sanitation, no showers, none of
There's
that.
no showers. There's no sanitation.
Do you get a sense of when the last time you were able to take a bath was?
I think it was like a while ago, but I don't remember. It's not something that I do.
Mm. And when you do it, where does that take place? Is it by bodies of natural water?
I feel like it's with the military, so they have a bathhouse or something to just to do that with. but it's with the military when I want to do it.
Very good. So now we're just gonna go back in your home, and I want you to now see yourself preparing a meal that you're going to eat. And as you're preparing your meal, can you describe what is it you are preparing and how is it that you prepare your meal?
I think yeah, I just eat bread. There's bread, and I cut it. It's like maybe sourdough bread. And then I
Mhm,
put it on my plate, and I have it with butter, and I have a glass of wine, and that's
mhm.
my meal.
Very good. Did you make the bread from scratch or did you buy the bread?
No, I bought it from like the local baker.
Okay, the local baker. Are you able to cook meals in your home?
It feels like I don't really cook. I'm
Mm,
there. I'm only there sometimes, so I only
mm,
buy what I need immediately.
okay. So see yourself eating a meal in your home, and you can be eating with anyone else who also lives there with you. Are you eating alone or is there someone with you?
No, I think I'm alone.
Mhm. Very good. So now we're gonna close that scene and we're gonna drift to see what you do in your spare time when you're not working and it's your free time. What do you do to help you relax? If you do anything at all. What do you do in your free time? Do you have free time?
Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it feels like there is like a town square, and everybody and families just gather there, and
Mm-hmm.
they just walk around, they talk to each other. You get your supplies there, your food's there too. It's just like a big town square. That's where I go.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good. So now we're gonna close that scene and we're gonna drift to see how you spend most of your time. So if this is being a night, or how do you spend most of your time? What is your job? What is your occupation? What is your job? Tell me more about how you spend most of your time.
It's just communicating with the king. He sends me to send information to other places, and I relay that information back, or he sends me to gather information from other places, and I send it back to him.
Mm.
That's what I do.
And what does he call you? What name do you go by?
Feels like it feels like Charles.
Mm-hmm. Charles. And Charles, what do you call the king? What is his name?
It feels like King Frederick.
Mm-hmm. Very good. King Frederick. And can you describe what is his appearance? What does he look like?
He's like more. middle aged.
Mhm.
He has like the royal clothing on, and he has like a really good temperament.
Mhm.
He's really good with others.
Mhm. So he's very good. Mhm. Do his people love him?
Yes, they respect him.
Very good. Does he have long or short hair?
I think it's like kind of long, like
Mhm.
up to his ears.
Mhm.
That's like normal for that time.
That's normal. Okay. Is it curly or straight?
Mhm. It's
Hmm.
kind of straight. It's a bit raggedy.
Oh, it's straight and raggedy. Okay. Now his eyes. Can you see what color are his eyes?
Yes, they're green.
They're green eyes. Very good. Is he very tall? Very short? How tall is he?
Um, he's like average. He's average
Mm-hmm.
height.
Very good. Now, do you get a sense of how you got this position? Was it by choice?
It feels like I signed up to do this, to
Mm-hmm.
be a knight.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
I don't. I think the king just liked how I relayed information back to him, and so he just kept on giving me these jobs.
Mhm. Very good. So now we're gonna close this scene, and now we're going to leave that scene and let's move forward to an important day. Yes, Charles, what is happening? What do you see?
It feels like we're preparing for a battle. We're getting things ready around the castle to defend it.
Can you tell me more about that? And also, how do you prepare the castle for battle? What do you do to protect it?
Um, like the other men, the other knights, or the other military leaders, they go on top. They go on top to prepare to throw their bows and arrows and have cannons ready, and we're just prepping everything because those people that I was telling the king about, that camp, they're
Mm-hmm.
planning on attacking. So we have to
Mm.
prepare.
Okay, so you're preparing and defending the castle for battle because the enemies in which you guys had spied on, They're making the first attack.
Yeah, they're making their move.
They're making their move. Okay. Um, and now tuning into your emotions and into your thoughts during that moment, can you describe how is it that you are feeling? And also, why have they decided to attack you guys?
I think that was always their plan, because slowly they've been encroaching little by little, and so their plan was always to like someday attack the castle.
Mm-hmm. And
And
for
this
what
is just
reason?
they want the resources of the castle.
Mm.
It's just for resources.
So then, when you gave the king the information and he delegated with the military, what did they conclude? Did they conclude to leave them alone? Or what was this a part of their
No,
plan?
no, they didn't. It wasn't about leaving them alone. It was always just to keep them informed. Since we were always keeping the king informed, this was this was part of that information gave
Mm-hmm.
us the info about their plan. So now they're
Mm.
planning on attacking.
So then you were able to prepare in time.
Yeah, we knew they were coming.
Very, very good. Then is that what the king was discussing with the military? What to do to prepare?
Um, I felt like he was discussing not to take action just yet, but always to keep updated on their move. And so because we always kept them updated, it was now time to prepare.
Mm, very good. So then, tuning into your thoughts again and your feelings, can you describe what is the energetic state?
I feel like there is some worry about the amount of like gunfire and resources we're gonna have to use. But we also know that they're not knights, that they're not coming, they're not as prepared as us, but there's still a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. So they don't have the resources you do, but they do have a lot of more people, so more numbers.
Yeah.
Do you find that your community is less than 300 people or 300 soldiers?
I mean, we have our military, our knights are here and they're trained. So, and we're more trained than them. So that gives us confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the amount of resources we're going to have to waste.
To be able to survive. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and defend the castle.
And the castle. Very good. Now, what is your role in the defense? Like, are you like what do you do? Can you describe what you're doing?
Um, I think I'm just like at a station, like at a peak station, like it's a very top peak, so that I
Mm-hmm.
can see how they're coming. And so I
Mhm.
just yell out their formation, or I yell it out, or like I tell it somebody, and they tell the others.
Mhm. So you're like the looking out.
Yeah.
Very, very good. So let's see what happens next. How does this take carry out? What ends up happening next?
It feels like we win.
Mhm.
We win this battle.
Mhm.
Uh, we take some we take some hits, but it's not bad, but some of our resources are depleted.
What resources are the most depleted?
Like the cannon, like the fire powder, cannons, whatever we used to shoot at them, that's depleted.
Mm, okay. And how do you recover from the aftermath? What do you guys do?
It feels like, we clean up, we take some prisoner, we take some of the enemy's prisoner, but mostly we like tally our losses, like what we lost, what we need, and we tell the king what we had to use,
Mm.
what we use now.
And what does he do with that information?
I feel like he considers it to consider what he's going to need to buy to replenish it, but it doesn't feel like there's a need to buy it everything immediately, but he knows what he needs.
Okay. So just keeping the inventory then.
Yeah.
Very, very good. So where do you keep the enemy's prisoner? Where do they stay?
It feels like it's just like a typical like dungeon at the
Mm-hmm.
bottom of the castle. There's just jail cells there, and that's where we keep them.
Just sounds very good. Okay, and then so tell me more. What happens after that? What is it that you're doing now?
It feels like after this, I just continue to gather information on like the the enemy troops. So I just go back and see what I can gather, and I just take it back to the king. That's just what I
Mm-hmm.
continue to do, just gather information.
Okay, so just going back to your job.
Yeah.
Very, very good. So let's go ahead and close this scene off, and we're gonna go ahead and drift to another important day. What is happening? What do you see?
It feels like the king, I I think the king is making me a higher rank in the military.
Can you tell me more about that? What is the rank and also what does that look like? Is it a ceremony? Can you describe more what that looks like? And also, how old do you feel now?
I feel like he's making me general. I'm a
Mhm.
general now, so I have more troops under my responsibility. And it's not a big ceremony. It's just like at the king's court with the other military officials. And he is like giving me the general rank now.
Mhm. And how do you feel in that moment? Tune into your thoughts and tune in to your feeling.
I feel I feel good about it because I'm being recognized
Mhm.
for what I've been doing for him.
Mhm. Tell me more.
It feels like I was doing the same missions
Mhm.
again and again, so I wasn't going anywhere.
Mhm.
So now, so now he's recognized how valuable I've been, and he's giving me
Mm.
the rank of the general.
Very good. Very good. And how old are you now? So you were 20, around 28 to 32 when that battle broke out, and at that point you were very tired. And now at this point of you going up in rank to become a general, how much time has passed? How old are you now?
I feel like this happened 5 years after the event at the castle.
Mm-hmm. 5 years after the event at the castle. Very good. Good. And so then what happens? Oh, actually, can you describe what is it you're wearing during this new rank promotion? What is it you're wearing?
I feel like I'm not wearing my usual knight's uniform.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of it like my ceremonial suit.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like my shoes, my socks, like a shorts, or like
Mm-hmm.
my ceremonial shorts,
Mm-hmm.
my decorated coat. That's what I'm wearing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. And what happens next? What happens after the ceremony?
Immediately after,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what happens after?
I think I think there's just a short celebration for the new ranking officers,
Mm-hmm. Do you have a partner that's celebrating with you?
like a wife.
Yes. Do you have a wife?
No,
Mm. Is that by choice or there's just no time?
it feels like it feels like a lot of my time is dedicated to serving the king. So
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't looked for a wife.
And how do you feel about the king?
Oh, I respect the king. He's our
Mm-hmm.
king.
Mm-hmm. And you're happy with what you do?
I feel like it's not it's not about happiness, but it's about a duty to serve.
Mm-hmm. A duty to serve. Very good. Do you have a lot of friends there?
I
Or is
talked
it
to some
very
I talked to some of the other officers and soldiers, but I mostly keep to myself.
mm-hmm. And why is that?
I just do.
You just do, okay, it's just how you are, okay. Very good. So we're gonna go ahead and close this scene and we're gonna drift to another important day in the same lifetime of Charles. Another important day where something is happening. What is happening? What's going on? What do you see now?
I think I think now I have a wife
Mm-hmm.
and she's given birth to our son.
Mm-hmm. What does your wife look like?
She has brown hair, long brown hair. She's kind of young and brown
Mm-hmm.
eyes.
Mm-hmm. And she's giving birth to your son, or she already gave birth?
She's already given birth. She's holding the baby in her hands.
Hmm. And what are you wearing? What are you doing in that moment?
It feels like now I'm just in bed with her and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just sitting with her.
Oh, very good. How did you meet her?
It feels it feels like through the church
Mm-hmm.
there was another officer there and he let me know he was looking for a husband for her daughter
Mm,
and asked
okay.
me if I would be interested.
Mm. And what did you respond?
I said I said yeah, yes, 'cause I was alone. I've never been married.
Mm. And and do you get a sense that she was in approval of the marriage as well?
It's hard to say because the parents made the choices back then.
I see. Okay. And what is your wife's name? What do you call her?
It feels like it's either Angelique or Angelica.
Mm-hmm. And what is your son's name?
I feel like we named him Raul.
Raul. Very good. Very, very good. So as you're laying in bed with your wife and you've had your son, how do you feel in that moment? And also, how much how much time has passed from the time of the marriage and the baby?
I don't I don't understand the question.
How much time has passed? So how many years has it been that for you guys to conceive that you guys been together? Like, was it very fast, or has it been a few years married, a few years before having a kid?
It doesn't feel like it was immediate. It
Mhm.
feels like maybe 2 or 3 years after we got married.
Oh, very good. 2 to 3 years after. And as you're laying in bed with your wife, how do you feel in that moment?
I feel content.
Mhm.
I feel happy to see the new baby.
And are you still a general at this point?
Yeah, I'm still a general at this point, but my time is like feels like it's almost over just because I'm getting up there in age.
Mm. How old do you feel now?
I'm not sure, but it feels like I'm in my late 30s.
Mm. And do you feel healthy, sick, strong? How do you feel?
I I still feel fine, but
Mm.
I feel like I'm getting more tired.
Okay, more tired. Okay. Now, your relationship with Angelica, is it a very good relationship? Or what's that like?
I feel it's fine. I treat her well. I provide.
Hmm. And where do you guys live? Is it near the castle? Is it the same house? Or where do you guys live?
We still live in my home, the same
Mm,
house.
very good. So now what we're going to do is we're just gonna see what happens next. And it can be a few years, it doesn't matter the time, but what happens next with your family? Can you tell me?
It's like my son is 5 or 6 years old,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like I'm like an older man at this point.
Mm-hmm. What around what age would you say?
Maybe I'm 45.
Mm-hmm. And your son is 5 years old, and what's he doing right now?
he's just around the house. He's just being himself.
And what are you doing?
It feels like I'm in bed, just tired.
Mhm. And where's your wife?
She's in the kitchen.
Mhm. And what are you thinking? I know you mentioned you're tired, but what's going on in your head?
It feels like, it feels like I'm glad I was able to have a wife and a son and serve, but it also feels like I'm I'm like I'm just in bed most days.
Mm, I see, because you're very tired.
I'm getting old. I'm an old person now.
You're an old person now. Is 45 considered to be old?
For that time, yes.
Mm. Do you look old?
I look older, yes.
Mm. Can you describe what you look like?
Yeah. It feels like I just have more lines on
Mm,
my face. My my beard is is grayer.
mhm,
My hair is finer.
mhm,
My hands have more lines on them.
mhm. I see. So you're laying in bed and you're just contemplating?
Yeah.
Mhm. And what happens next?
It feels like this is just how we live now.
Mm, okay. So are you still a general?
Oh, it feels like I've left the military now. I no longer serve.
Mm-hmm. So was it because of your age, or was it by
Yes.
choice? Or was it by choice?
I I had the option of
Mm,
leaving leaving. It was my choice to leave because of my age.
mm, very good. So what we'll do now is let's close that scene, and now we're gonna close that scene, and now we have gone moving forward to the last day of your life and that lifetime as Charles. What is happening? And you do not have to feel any physical sensations. You can talk about it.
Just
I'm
I
sorry.
feel tired.
Oh, you feel tired?
I haven't been able to move out of bed.
Mm-hmm. How old do you feel?
Not much older.
Mm-hmm. And are you alone?
No,
Who's with you?
just my son and my
Mm-hmm. How old does your son look?
he's,
I'm sorry?
he's still very
He's 7? Okay.
still very young.
Oh, he's still young. Okay. Now, what are you thinking? Can you describe what you're thinking?
If you
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
it feels like I'm sad that I'm not gonna be there for when he grows up,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm gonna be leaving him.
Mm-hmm. So you feel sad because you feel like you're leaving him and you're not going to be there for him to see him grow up.
Yes.
Hmm. And what does your wife and your son do while you're laying in bed? What is it that they're doing? How do they feel?
He's still playing. He he asked me to go play with him, but I can't.
Hmm.
And she's just taking care of me.
Hmm. 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 So see yourself taking your last breath and see what happens after you've taken your last breath. What happens? What does it look like? What are you observing?
It feels like my role doesn't understand what's going on because he's just a kid. He doesn't know.
Hmm.
But
So you feel like he doesn't the little boy doesn't understand?
no, he still wants to play. But
Hmm.
An- Angelique knows. She knows I passed. She's crying.
Hmm. And you're able to see this from above, or how, what form did you take?
Yes, from above.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Now, whatever has already happened, and you're on the other side of it. From that position, you can look back at the entire life and see it from a different perspective. Every life has a lesson and a purpose. As you look at the life of Charles, what did you learn from it?
I don't know. It just felt like he he knew what his duty was. He accomplished it to the best of his ability.
Hmm. And what do you think was the purpose of that lifetime?
Felt like it felt like it was to understand my role. There was like a role for me,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just my role. It was a role. It was a role that I committed to or I wanted to do, and I just did it.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So, understanding that you did the best of your role, you can feel free to just speak your piece with your son and with your wife and just share the love you have and just knowing that everything will be okay. What would you like to say with to them?
I would just like to say I'm so sorry to Raul that I had to leave him so young.
Mm-hmm. 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 Now let's see what ends up happening to Charles and to your wife. So on the other side, we're just going to watch him grow up, and you'll be able to watch it like a quick movie before your eyes. And as you're watching this, how does that change the way you feel?
Feels good. He was able to grow up and have a life of his own.
Hmm. And what role did he take?
I think he went into the church.
Hmm. And he was able to have a his own life, you said?
Yes.
Was it a happy life?
It feels like he was content. Yes.
Very good. And knowing that, does it make you feel better?
Yeah, it does.
Hmm. And now, just looking in, connecting with the soul of Charles. Oh no, I'm sorry, Raul. Connecting with the soul of Raul, your son in that lifetime. And just connecting with Angelique, the wife. Do you get a sense if they are connected to anyone you know in your current lifetime?
Feels like Angelique uh, was is is my sister from this lifetime,
Mm-hmm.
and Raul was is my dad from this lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Now, very good. Now, as you are on the other side, you can explore the other side and you can connect. You can connect with them, your sister and your dad, and you can see what you guys planned when coming into this lifetime. So just going to that place where you guys coordinated this plan together. Be there now. Can you describe what does it look like? What are you experiencing?
Just Feels like it feels like we're discussing the roles that we're gonna take.
Tell me more about that.
Feels like we're discussing that my sister, she's gonna take the role of Angelique. I'm gonna take the role of Charles. And my dad's gonna take the role of Raoul for this lifetime.
Mhm.
And when we're gonna meet each other and how it's gonna play out.
Mhm. And did it play out according to plan, even up to Charles's death?
Yes, that was all
Mhm.
discussed beforehand.
Mhm. And so now that you understand this, are you able to release the sadness?
Yes,
Very good. And now, how do you feel with this new awareness?
I feel good. It was planned beforehand. It wasn't intentional.
Hmm. Very good. Very good. Very, very good. So now move away from that scene, drifting there now. You are now at another time and place. What do you see? What are you doing?
Um, Aviana,
Yes.
Aviana, can we take a break?
Oh, yes. Is everything okay?
Yes, I'm just starting to feel my body is trying to feel uncomfortable
Oh,
on
okay.
where I'm at.
Oh, from where you're at right now under hypnosis?
Yes, yes.
Okay. What we'll do is we can actually leave that scene and we're just going to imagine, see, call in that Christ light, see it coming down through the crown, down through the third eye, down through the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root, just clearing and cleansing with the power of Christ's light. Now, see a door appear before you. Can you describe what this door looks like?
It's like light brown
Mm-hmm.
and it
Light.
has like gold engraving around it on the
Mm-hmm.
exterior.
Very beautiful. Now, I want you to open the door, and when you open the door, you will be able to step through the most healing, cleansing, beautiful golden light. And as you step through that energy of golden light, on the other side will be a safe place where we can connect with your higher self for healing and answering your questions. And as you walk through the light, you will feel better and lighter. Can you please let me know when you're on the other side? And what does that safe space look like to you?
Um, it just feels like a comfortable.
It feels like what?
It feels like a comfortable place, like it's a place where I get healing.
Very good. Now, receive all of the healing and energetic upgrades while you're in that space. That healing is taking place on an energetic and quantum level. Just feel the healing, and we will continue with connecting with the subconscious. You chose forward to bring this lifetime as Charles. Why did you pick this lifetime?
It was to show her that she is capable of stepping into any role that she wants to, and she is capable of accomplishing the responsibilities of that role.
Mhm. And how does that relate to her in this lifetime?
She has frustrations and doubts about
Mm-hmm,
herself in this role, and
mm-hmm.
that was to show her that she is more than capable of accomplishing a role that she did in that time as she is in this time.
Very good, very good. Thank you for that. Now, what happened with the second lifetime? Why did she feel uneasy?
Her body just started to become uncomfortable in the position that she's at. So she could not continue with another lifetime.
Is she still uncomfortable right now?
She's okay now. She moved a bit. That was the issue. She just wanted to move her body.
Okay. Is that a lifetime that we should still explore today?
The lifetime of her role as a knight.
The one where she was uncomfortable and so we didn't continue.
No, we are referring to her body right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about her body right now?
She, she was just uh uncomfortable in her body right now. So she needed to take a break.
Oh, okay. Should we um close the session or can you adjust the position for her?
We will adjust.
Thank you. Please let me know when I can continue to ask questions.
Okay, we may continue.
Thank you so much. So, can I ask for you to please conduct a body scan for Kathy? And please let me know What stands out?
Feels like it feels like she is holding a lot of tension in her body.
And where is she holding it? Where specifically?
It's feeling like it's coming from her upper back, her arms, her shoulders, her neck, her face.
And what causes that tension? Why does she have that tension? Is that from like trapped emotions or what is causing all that tension to build in her body?
Feels like it's accumulation from her responsibilities
Mhm.
that she feels like she has so much to carry.
Mhm. Why does she feel like she has so much to carry?
Because she's feeling like she has to balance so many, what she feels like is just competing responsibilities at her job.
Mhm. And what can you tell her to help take that weight off of her? What should she know about that?
We would tell her that yes, there are these competing responsibilities, but there isn't a need for her to feel like it's an overwhelming task. She's feeling a bit felt like there's many responsibilities that she has to keep in mind. And so that is causing part of this tension in her body.
Mhm. So it's coming from her mind, her thoughts.
Yes.
Mhm. Why? So since we're on her thoughts, she feels for her work, she has a lot of meetings, and so she's getting constantly updated with new information. And sometimes she feels like she gets lost or she's unable to remember all the details she needs. Like for her meetings, it feels like she has to sum up her week. She can't really remember all the details. And so, um, since she's not able to remember all the information in her week or meeting, she's wondering, is there a way for her to remember more information or to have a better way to recollect information? Or can we remove any blocks that's making her feel like she can't remember what she wants or should? Is that why it's affecting her memory also? Or what's
we
going
feel
on with that?
we feel like that she is very preoccupied
Mhm.
with seeing or perhaps trying to remember everything that happens in a meeting, but there is a there is kind of a doubt going on also in the back of her mind about whether how this meeting is going. Is it going well? Is she saying everything she's supposed to? Is there anything else she's supposed to remember? So that's kind of limiting her in her fully being present in the meeting and like grasping all the information that she wants.
Mm-hmm. So during another BQH session, um, it was said that she has a false belief about herself, which is what's triggering. So that limited belief is what's triggering her anxiety, her inner voice. Her inner voice, it critiques her actions in real time. So, what can we do today to work on that, to eliminate the false belief today?
We can we can remind her that she, she can take control. She can take control of this, but it's difficult for her to grasp this because it is unconscious thinking that it's just unconscious thinking that just automatically gets triggered.
Mm-hmm.
And so that interferes with her being present.
Can you show her what caused that limited belief? What was the root cause of that? Can you show her the 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 day that got into her unconscious? Is this And if this is something that does not need to be there,
It's
with the awareness, can it be released?
it has been with her for a very long time since she she was young. So it has somewhat become like an unconscious aspect of her.
Mm. So it is a part of her?
It's it is an unconscious belief that is still being triggered
Mm.
within her.
And what is an unconscious aspect?
It's an aspect that you may not have a full awareness of, but that you see yourself acting out time and time again, but you don't know why.
Mm. And so this became part of an unconscious aspect from something that occurred to her in her childhood?
Yes.
Or was it something that built up over time of
It
many
was
people?
both that she had when she was young, and so has been an now it's more conscious, but now it has been an unconscious, a belief,
Mhm,
a false belief that she is still
mhm.
carrying.
Okay. In this place of healing, I want you to be able to see. We're going to call in this unconscious aspect, and it can be presented to you in any way, shape, or form. But this unconscious aspect will appear before you, and we're going to connect with this unconscious aspect. As it appears before you, can you describe what does it look like?
She's a scared little girl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A scared little girl. Mm-hmm. Well, feel free to connect with the girl and ask her, say, why are you here? Why have you been with me all these years? And what does the aspect say to you?
It feels like, well, what's the question?
Why are you here? And why have you been with me all these years?
No, it just feels like she had nowhere else to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what does your aspect say to you? What is the purpose of being there?
No,
Just, just, I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I don't know, just to show, I don't know. I don't know what it
Mm-hmm.
is to show me that there is still a scared little girl inside of
Mm-hmm.
me.
Mm-hmm. Now I want you to go to that scared little girl, and I just want you to stand in the light and in the power of the Christ light, just knowing that everything's okay, knowing that you are always divinely guided and protected, knowing that you are living in your own authenticity, not bound by judgment, shame, fear of others. So just standing in that light, in that power, and that protection, just sending all your love into the scared little girl, comforting her, letting her know how divinely protected and powerful she is, capable of all the love in the world and more. And just letting her know that it's okay. You're not a scared little girl. You're not. And just thanking the aspect for being with you and serving as a reminder where you thought you needed more healing, but that this no longer serves a purpose for you. And it's okay to let that aspect go. It's okay to evolve and grow. It's okay. At one point, you were scared, but now you don't need that. And I want you to let that aspect guide you to where they want to go. So, with this aspect, you can take that scared little girl to one of the safest and happiest places where she can be free to have fun and explore and step out of those bounds of the unconscious mind. So just take that aspect to the most happiest and safest place. Where would you like to take the aspect of your unconscious mind? I'm sorry, where?
I don't know.
Mhm. It can be anywhere, somewhere where you will feel safe and protected, somewhere where you can be your authentic self, somewhere where there's never a place of shame or judgment. Your own fantasy world where you have the power. Where would you like to take this aspect?
I want to protect her. I want to make her feel safe.
You want to make her feel safe? hmm
I want to make her feel loved and safe and so protected. I want her.
hmm Now, why do you feel that way? Do you feel, tell me more about where those feelings are coming from. Where are you storing all those emotions?
I don't know.
It's okay, you're doing so good. Just being aware this is very, very healing. So then this is what we're going to do. We're going to call in the Archangel Michael, the great protector. He's going to come in today and he is going to spread his light into you and remind you that you're always protected. And as he comes to you, he will have a message for you and he will have a message for your unconscious aspect, which is there before you as the scared little girl. So just receive in Archangel Michael that energy. What message? What does he say to you?
Think we can transform
I'm
our.
sorry, can you repeat that?
It feels like he's saying we can transform our fear and doubt into strength and courage.
hmm So, what I want you to do is, I want you to see that scared little girl transform before your very eyes into the most strongest, courageous, bravest form. whatever form resonates most with you. I want you to see those doubts and fears transform right before your very eyes into the new form of strength, courage, and bravery, which will now be your unconscious aspect. Can you describe what did they change into?
She's a big, powerful angel.
Mhm.
Beautiful, big wings. And she has tools for protection. And she has a sword to fight with. She's so big. She's so big.
Very good, very beautiful. A big, beautiful angel that will protect you. Very good. Now connect with this beautiful angel. What does she say to you now?
I feel like she's saying she
Mm, she was saying what?
she was saying she was always a big, beautiful, strong angel.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Yeah. And now, what would you like to say? What would you like to say to this angel? I don't know, just You can say anything you want. You can ask for help where you need help. You can say anything that you want.
I
You
just want her. I just want her to always uh, to give me the belief of, give me the belief of strength and courage that I always have it in me. There's nothing to just take away my doubt and my fears and take away
Mhm.
any anxiety I am ever to have. Just take it away and just give me strength and courage and give me power so I can always feel power in myself.
Mhm. Very good. Strength and courage to feel the power in yourself. Very good. So, when you are in these moments where you want to call on to your strength and courage, what can you do or say? How can you call in that new unconscious aspect? What do they say to you?
She's saying she is me. She is me. And I am her.
Mm,
And
very
she is me. She is me. I just, she is me. I am her. I can embody her. She's always been in me.
hmm Very good. And now that you understand this and know this, what will you notice differently moving forward from here on out, especially when you're having your meetings? What will you notice differently?
It's just, there's no need. There's no need to second guess. There's no need to compare myself. There's there's no need for it because I know what needs to be done, and this angel is with me to eliminate when those thoughts enter.
Mm-hmm.
I can just be present. I can just be present. I don't need to think of the other comparison. I don't need to do that.
Mhm. That is so beautiful. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. Now, is she still holding on to any other repressed emotions? Can we do another body scan for that? To see where her other repressed emotions are in the body?
We think that
I'm sorry?
we think that for this session, this has been a powerful release.
Hmm. It's been a powerful release for her.
Yes.
Oh, so good. Thank you so much. Now, we see what is going on with her digestive system? She gets stomach issues, and we want to know why and how we can release that to heal her symptoms.
Yes, there's been some pent up frustrations, pent up unreleased emotions in her digestive system causing her some discomfort.
And what emotions was she holding in? Is she aware that she was holding in those emotions?
Yes, this was mentioned to her previously that she would store unprocessed emotions in this area.
Hmm. What healthy habit can she get into um where she can release those unprocessed emotions? Like, what can she do to add to her daily routine that will ensure that she is actively taking the time to release those unprocessed emotions?
She can call in. She can call in that Christ energy, and she has been pulling that energy through her chakras, but we would add that she should ask that Christ energy to help further release emotions in that area to ask that energy to sit there and go through that system and help release her more trapped in her more emotions there, help her with healing there.
Mm-hmm. And what can we do today for her to help release any trapped emotions in her digestive area?
We have done some of that release now.
Oh, beautiful. And how will she notice, like, what will she notice differently after today?
She'll feel not necessarily in her digestive system, but she'll feel just just a bit lighter in her entire being. She'll feel lighter.
Mhm. And when she's having those symptoms flare up in her digestive system, why is that happening? What does that serve?
It's it's a reminder. It's a reminder for her that she needs to always make sure to process her emotions. That she she was ha- unconsciously having her emotions stuck there.
Mhm.
So when she feels that way, when she needs to release more, this is a reminder. It's a reminder to release more and to focus on healing in that energy, in that area.
Mm. Okay. And now that she's aware of her emotions getting stored in her body, she can take the proper measures to release it from her body and not suppress it, not push it down.
She's been aware for some time now,
Hmm.
but this is a practice. This is a
Okay.
practice that she must commit to.
Okay. And will she get better at it?
If she commits to the practice, yes, and she's been doing so much releasing in many of her sessions, and we see that. So this is not to say she has not been doing it, but to say to continue that practice.
Very good. Yes. No, she's amazing. Um, so during her meditation, she thinks her inner voice or God told her to connect more to Christ energy, just as we're now being told. Um, but they told her that she needs to imagine the light within her get big and bigger so that she feels God's energy. And we practiced this earlier, but she feels like sometimes her visualization isn't enough. What can you tell her about that?
I would say that her visualizations is it's more than enough. It's not about doing more, but it's about allowing her visualizations to incorporate the visual, the sensory, the taste, the touch, the feel. And that is not something she is accustomed to, but that she may start with this visualizations, but like it was mentioned, if she practices that, if she practices with the light, if she grows it in her mind constantly, a constant grow, and she perceives, she allows herself to perceive that growth in her body, that that will make her feel connected.
Hmm. Very good. And when we did the practice earlier today, can you share like what was happening on a energetic level?
the earlier affirmations?
Yes, before doing the session.
Yes, well, in saying those affirmations, she's opening herself to the energy, to the source energy. And
Mm-hmm.
the more you open yourself to source energy, the more source will connect. She's opening herself to source energy.
Okay. And how can she feel validated in in those moments when she's opening up? How can she feel just confident in her faith?
We would say she's already been validated. She has felt just less of her anxiety. She has noticed that she has seen that small perceptional difference. And the more she commits to it, the larger that difference will be.
Mm,
So it will not be from one day to the next. But as she noticed that only 1 week difference, and she noticed that she perceived that difference, that perception was slight, but she perceived it. That's how she will notice it.
mm-hmm. Okay. So now she'll be able to pick up when it happens again.
Yes, she should just tune in to her body, her perceptions. She's very good. She's she does not give herself sufficient credit for those perceptions, those bodily perceptions. But she did that instance. If she can continue with those bodily visceral receptions, she will be more than validated.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Now, she holds a lot of tension in her jaw, but more so on the right side. And she wants to know what's causing the tension. Like, is that about her work? How can she remove the tension in this session today? Or is it about herself and her responsibilities? So, what is the root cause of the tension in her jaw? Because she thinks it's due to stress, but what is causing it? And then how can she receive full and complete healing for it today?
Attention is, yes, related to the job, but it's been again related to her her anxiety over managing her different responsibilities and tasks. We are hopeful that after this session that this burden that she has chosen or placed on herself will lessen. So
Mhm,
we would say there is little need to feel a reaction to these tasks and responsibilities. There could be a list of 10, there could be a list of 100 things to do, but you can react she can react the same to the 10 things she has to do, to the 100 things she has to do. They carry no weight other than the weight she perceives them. And
mhm,
that is what we would like her to know. There is not a need to react to these tasks, or less they can just be perceived as just things that need to be accomplished. That is it. She can disconnect from having an emotional response to them.
Mm-hmm. So just not reacting. Okay. Now, what if she want like in her job where they're asking her to do a video or join a meeting and she doesn't necessarily want to, but she still does. What should she do? Should she say no or should she continue to do what she's doing?
You would remind her that she was given the capacity, and she was also given the power to manage how her responsibilities. And so this is about implementing that power for her, uh, acting with it, with that authority. So we would say that she is in full authority to act within her power to manage these other meetings that she's invited to, or these other events, and she has full authority to say no, to manage it in the way that she sees fit. And if there is a future concern, we would remind her she was given this authority. She was given this authority to manage. So there's no need for her to again feel she must accept everything. It's in her full authority to manage it as she best feels she
Mm,
should.
okay. So then, after today, what will she notice differently about her job?
She'll have a slightly less tension there.
Okay. And then what was the advice for her to better remember things?
The advice was for her to be fully present in the meeting and not have a need. Well, the advice came to be present and to take charge of that meeting and not allow the the false belief, right?
Oh, yes. Okay.
And derail her from
Mhm.
being present.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So we did give her the clarification on that. Thank you so much. Now, in her in her where she lives and the weather's changing in her area. It's starting to go into the fall, so it's more rainy and cloudy these days, less sun exposure. She wants to know how can she prepare for this because she feels nervous for the transition because she was used to seeing the sun every day. So she feels like this rainy season, the winter might affect her mood. What can you tell her about that?
We would say she affects her mood the most.
Mm-hmm.
She does not have to allow the weather to affect her. We would say again, this is an exercise. This is a practice that takes participation in. But there are she does not allow she does not need to allow the weather to affect her. And she could look at the weather and decide and perhaps have a negative response, Or she could look at the weather and have a positive response and say, another wonderful day that this area is gaining precious, precious water. Another area, another day where I get to smell the rainwater. I get to smell freshly watered plants. I get to know that plants are getting fed and I get to walk in this precious water. Every day she can tell that to herself. She can say, I can decide to have a positive response to it. I can have a positive response to this. What can I do to have a positive response to it?
So just going back to that mindfulness mindset.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Now, what can we do during this session right now to help her access the Akashic records? Can we go to the Akashic library?
We would say that she has released a lot of emotion in this session. So we would not go to the library during the session.
Okay, we can do that in at a later time.
Correct.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And what would you advice would you give her on accessing the Akashic records?
We see that she does does not need particular guidance or wisdom, that again she already knows she can open the records, and uh, it, it is related to this false belief that we worked on that made her feel that she was limited in getting the information from the records. But like in anything, one, she has capacity to reach them. Two, she has capacity to get this information. And it just takes practice for her to embody that confidence and embody that connection that is within her already.
Very good. Thank you for that.